Now, this is a combination of, oh, the Aussie dollar is the best thing in the world, so let's get on it. But then, of course, as these traders buy all the way up here and then they get rolled, a lot of them then reverse. So yeah, you got a ton of longs here to get washed out, but you've also got a lot of shorts. So this is obviously reasonably long through here. So any movement down that way presents a sell opportunity. That was obviously some late shorts covering, and you can see this wanting to attempt to push, and that's great because if you can see it, here it comes, but then if it rolls over, you've got a bit of an indication that, yeah, it's just not on. Just buying down here was the very obvious move to me. Lots of selling taking place, but again, it's not huge numbers, and that's because bigger players won't come in yet. So I'm guided a lot by just what's going on inventory-wise. I know there's lots of selling right now, but look at this. So yeah, it's so skewed to the long side. We could get some aggressive movement. Why aggressive? Well, in here is still very low acceptance compared with, if you go back to some areas down here. All right, so here's the move. So I'm happy to probe 58 because I saw 57 flashed on the bid. So this comes back to, remember we talked about value down here and looking for that opportunity. So it's just about joining all the dots. Because we've got so much longs in here, what I'm curious to see is if this now starts to go further. Now someone lifted quite a bit at 53. Let's see if that just goes straight there. There they go again. So there's a battle at 53, buying and selling taking place, and we're getting multiple failures. We're also down to a fairly significant transition area, so good spot to be taking some money. I just feel like there's potential here to, because this has happened so quickly, just catch out a bunch of traders who just didn't see that coming, in which case they wouldn't have reacted yet. They'll be like, oh, if it goes up, I'll get out. So I'm adding that to it, but of course you have to take some money out down here using someone else's description of trading. And here's a really good example. Traders picking up pebbles in front of a steamroller. The thing is, they get so complacent, they forget about the steamroller. Have a look how perfect it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, up. That's a machine doing that. All right, so why is it doing it? What are they up to? So it looks to me like there's the enticing, and they're able to have the market lift more offers to get all this buying in. So I'll be looking for this, because that's just not how you see a bunch of shorts get cleaned out or a bunch of big players come in and really hit it. But then you've got to think to yourself, okay, so is this now the other part of the story, and they're now going to get short so that they can get a second leg? All right, so sneaky buggers, aren't they? You can tell by what's happening here in the numbers that it's all machine-based anyway. Now, they're still there. It's just that they're actually soaking it up to get more longs in to allow themselves to get a bigger position, right? So they didn't allow it to go down and keep going because they've see how they want to build. Very, very clever. You can see by the tape who's in control of this. It's totally machine-based, which is cool as long as you can work out what they're doing. Now, if I can spot that, someone else can, which means that they're going to pick up some opponents. All right, 52, obviously we've traded there and it's hanging on the bid there. I'm waiting to see that 52 evaporate, just some size to go through it. All right, so there's that 52. Now we see some puking, right? Some longs puking. It's just so much fun to be able to identify the game and then participate. Has everyone still got some exposure to the short side here? Because you just have to think, they don't go to all this effort for a 5 or 6 tick move. Have a look at this view. Have a think about all the working off this area that we saw earlier and just how many protective orders we are encroaching upon. So here comes some long activity as anticipated at this transition area. That makes complete sense to me. So you can see the trailer destruction here. So this is a lot of those longs puking into the market. And in the short term, just run out of fuel, if you like, to the downside. But the good thing is we've seen a whole lot of new longs come in and lift the market here. And what I would imagine they're not aware of is that they're taking on a machine here that will beat them. Again, I still don't believe that's sufficiently enough that everyone's gone. There we go. That's more like it. We found some people's thresholds then, didn't we? Again, as I was saying before, when you go to the cost to put something like this together, you're not doing it for 5 or 6 ticks. Now we're down into really value for the session. So we're going to get a reaction down here. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to get flat.